Well, the institutions have always been kind of a guardians of what high art is. In a way, they have been mostly first for the educated class and the ones that dictated the taste, what good taste is. So they have always been associated with wealth and status.
I mean, early on, there were no female critics, there were no female curators, there were no female museum directors, and now at least there are some. But, it's not equal. And certainly the prices of women's work is much lower. So that's the first thing, is to end that kind of discrimination of even being able to consider something as art if it's made by a person of color or female. So I would certainly, change the attitude of who can be in a museum.
I think it is the responsibility of any organization that says that their place in the world is to present or foster or support art, to be as open and as accessible as possible, radically inclusive. That's every institution's responsibility. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't have a hyper focus on a specific area. I think you need specificity.
But how do we discern what really is truly innovative and has real, forget about the monetary value, but what has true cultural value, what rises above? I think that's the most difficult job today.
America has been such a vibrant place for the creative arts is because everyone gets to try something. And then this sort of free market of ideas, some things emerge because people like it, some things disappear, then re-emerge, or some things combine. And it'd be interesting to see, maybe there is a place for a handful of museums which is just contemporary, just doing the thing that happened this month. In fact, the reason you go to the museum is to find out how they can sort of curate everything that happened over the last month. And then there are other museums like this Natural History Museum, which are almost museums of museums, that they hold on to something from these different ideals or these different ways of thinking about and presenting the world. And all those things should maybe live together.
There's an opportunity to embrace, emerging mediums. There's an opportunity to disrupt yourself. The same is true for a design studio. Then I like to think that for a museum and an art gallery as well.
And so when you look at institutions, we need institutions. We need arts institutions, and we need them to be able to support, this movement, this global grassroots arts movement.
I think it's about ensuring an openness of the museum to the surrounding community and public. And in a way, in the museum that we've created, it's literally the glass facade creates a transparency in contrast to the kind of beautiful marble stone exteriors of the historic buildings from 60 or 100 years ago. And in this case, in our building, we literally created a passage through the 1960s edition, which was a very beautiful white marble walls, but at the same time created a sort of feeling of a private club where only a certain few were invited, and not everybody was maybe felt as welcome. And here we deliberately created a passage through that space, through the architecture, to create a free space for the public.
It's catching up. I think people needed to become forcefully aware of the discrimination.
So art's responsibility in my mind is to be actively pushing back against all of the other more powerful forces in the world. Will we succeed? Who knows? But at least, at our deathbed, we can say we tried. We moved the needle a little bit in the right direction,